Hello, everybody. Happy Chinese Lunar New Year, or Gong Xi Fa Chai, or Gong Hei Fat Choi. Welcome to another video. It's the Chinese Lunar New Year, and according to the Chinese horoscope, this Lunar New Year is the beginning of the year of the dragon. More specifically, it is the year of the wood dragon. So, here is what I decided to do. I picked up the first 8 dragons I could find. Yes, they are wyverns on this list. But I chose 8 dragons because, well, 8 is a very auspicious number for the Chinese. Now, for the Chinese, the dragon is considered a celestial and divine creature with the ability to control natural elements such as wind and water. So, the year of the dragon is anticipated to bring auspicious opportunities and exciting advancements to all. So, with this in mind and the number 8 in play, here's hoping that this channel will have a great year. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at all 8 dragons that I've got, or actually pulled out, or the first to find, and well, show you what I have. So the first dragon I found in the store is this dragon from McFarlane Toys. This dragon was released in 2005 as part of the McFarlane's Dragon's Quest for the Lost King, and this is the Water Dragon Clan Dragon, which is very pretty. It's a very nice and substantially big dragon. Now, according to the flavor text, it says the intuitive and empathetic water clan dragons are, of course, great swimmers and as unpredictable as the oceans and the seas themselves. So that's the blurb that came with the figure. Now, dragon is about 8-inch tall, and the length from head to tail is about 10 inches. The dragon is, of course, pre-painted, which is what you get when you purchase a McFarlane toy or McFarlane action figure. Excuse me. It's a very nice figure. It's got a very nice muted painting scheme. I love how the wings look and how understated the dragon is. The skull screams an aquatic design. The fins look fantastic. I actually put the dragon in front of a D&D group years back. Now, I'm not so sure if it was the look of the dragon or the confidence of the adventuring group, but I thought it was going to be a night of epic dragon slaying, but it ended up being a cat and mouse session with the adventurers and the dragons, with the adventurers barely getting out of the water dragon's underground sea lair alive. It is a very nice figure. I like how the sculpts look. The textures are very, very nice. And mind you, when I got this dragon many years ago, it was very, very impressive. At the time, action figures were mostly, I think GI Joes. I think when McFarlane started coming in, there were a few very nicely painted, I want to say Spawn figures, but I wasn't really into that. So when these ones came out, oh man, I was interested. However, the McFarlane toys were quite expensive, so even at the time, I didn't have much money for it, and especially here, where the currency versus the US dollar tends to like fluctuate very, very, very big. I only managed to have or get one this dragon. Regardless, it's a very nice dragon. It's a very nice figure. Now I'm not a big fan of action figures and toys these days. I used to be, but not anymore. I do like having them around, but I don't actively go out and buy them. But I love having this particular water clan dragon on my shelf. The second dragon is the Celestial Dragon. Now I featured this dragon in a video, I think a few months back. Was it a year back? And the link to the video is right here. In terms of painted miniatures, I wanted to start off with this one. It is the Lunar New Year, and the Celestial Dragon is a great way to start. Here in Malaysia, there are a lot of beautiful temples, and honestly, I didn't have to walk far to find some inspiration. I went for the colors that were very common at these temples, the greens and the red, which is kind of great because it's nice to see what culturally the colors or the color palette that was used. Not used properly, this could turn out very, very badly. But having inspiration from the arches, because these dragons tend to appear on the arches, different parts of Chinese temples. It was nice to see what it looked like on a figure or a 3D figure. So when I got down to actually painting it, there was some level of confidence in what will actually come out. Now, when I first got this figure, it strangely came with a small container of gold paint. So I suppose the idea was to make the Celestial Dragon golden. But let me just say that I never touched the paint. I think the paint totally dry up. It wasn't this really square thing. I wish I had it so I could show it to you. But I think what they wanted me to do was to paint it golden. I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad I decided to go for the Oriental color palette. The base was done. I got some of the uh, I would say crystal baubles, from those, those junk food packets, where I don't know what they're called. I put them on to give it a slight ethereal look. The Celestial Dragon was actually part of the Tom Mayer's range, and well, this will lead me nicely to the Black Dragon, or according to the internet, uh, if he's got alternate wings, the Brass Dragon. Now, off the bat, let me just say that I think I should base this miniature. I think back in the day, I was just happy to get it, and I was just happy to paint it. Basing, I think when I was doing a lot of painting was not really that important for some reason. I think there was a time when basing was secondary. Bases weren't very nice. In fact, there wasn't much space for the bases, and to actually go and do a base means some extra work, which I think when I was much younger I didn't really want to do. Now these old sculpts look the way they do because of the limitations of the casting process. So all of these classic figures have the chunkiness that makes it very charming, and to me very collectible. The new 3D sculpts have actually pushed the industry into some mind-boggling designs, but when you're creating a figure, you know, under the hands of a master, you get something that 3D modeling will take time to replicate, I'm sure, but it has it in spades. It's got a lot of heart, which is what I like. Now, the next dragon was actually sitting beside the black dragon or the brass dragon, and while I was tempted to showcase the wyvern that was right for the orc war boss that that I got from Citadel. Now I went with this one. Now this Citadel actually called this one the large red dragon, and Ralph Partha actually sold the same dragon and called it the black dragon. So it could be either red or black dragon depending on where you bought it from. Now this fella looks vicious at first glance, but stared at it for quite a while, trying to figure out what the horn-like teeth were for. It honestly does not really make sense, but it makes the miniature pretty memorable. And I'll be honest here, the teeth horns were a big part of why I added this figure to the showcase. Now, I looked and I looked, and I finally found this dragon on the internet. This dragon is from the DS Dragons range by Nick Beebe. It came out in 1987. Now, this is not a very fierce looking dragon by any standards. However, if you and your adventure party were to stumble on a dragon that looks like this, wouldn't your first instinct be just to talk to it? The figure itself is rather heavy. It's got a lot of lead in it. In terms of pose, it looks like a very simplistic pose. In fact, most of the dragons around this period had a similar-ish kind of pose. Now, amidst the 8 dragons, this one actually looks the most milder, to be honest. And when I found the art for this figure, the dragon was white. They called this one the Horn Dragon. I think the more earthy and nature-esque color palette gives it a more calming look. Now, no effort was spared on the face of this fella. I picked it up and I gave the figure a very close look before deciding to include the figure. And I must say, while the silhouette makes it look, rather docile, the figure has all the subtle details that, actually reward a second look. Now, the next dragon is the Undead Dragon that I got from a dollar store. This was part of my Wave 1 dollar store dragons series of videos that I did. I was very happy with this one. I liked the way it looked, and I liked how it turned out. The color palette was extremely small. A lot of gradient. I used, I think, about like maybe 4 or 5 colors on this one. The video for this is actually, let me just add the link to the video right here. Now, this was an easy pick for me when it comes to the Waves 1 selections. Now, I've seen quite a few Undead Dragons in my time, and, well, until I can find my Citadel Undead Dragon, this model will top my list of Undead Dragons to feature. Very nice sculpt, and I actually did a video for this dragon, as I said earlier. So yeah, I'll like I said, I'll add it to the description or the link right here. I want to get these dollar store favorites out of the way, so I chose one from this Wave 2. The recency bias and the basing for this figure got me to choose this model from the dollar store selection, Wave 2. To be fair, this is more wyvern, but I think I like how this model looks, and I like how the base actually makes the model look even better still. It's got, again, a very small palette. I think when you're painting dragons, you don't have to go too far. Most of the dragons that I've painted in my time have a very small palette with maybe a 4 or 5 tone gradient, which is it. Which is kind of a shame though, because I understand when you get a dragon and it's a big dragon or a small dragon, you want to put as much color on it, And unless you want to go an Oriental dragon, or unless you want to go for one of those rainbow dragons, I would highly recommend keeping the color palette small, and hopefully get your gradient work done properly, finding the color, finding where the light's coming from, and where the shade is at, in order for you to get a very good look. Let the skin texture do all the work for most of your dragon models. I mean, but again, that's simply me. The next dragon, let me see now. It's something from Citadel Miniatures. Not take a minute and say Citadel Miniatures out loud. And let me just say, I don't know about you, but there's a nice whiff of nostalgia. There's a nice whiff of nostalgia whenever I say Citadel Miniatures. But perhaps it's from a time when I was actively collecting miniatures and painting miniatures. I searched the internet for this figure, and you'll see or you'll hear this figure being called the Chicken Dragon, which, honestly, I think it does it a little bit of a misservice. It's a very nice figure. I think it's a very bold pose. The pose was done because it actually has rider. This miniature actually came with an elf rider. I have no idea where the rider is. So what I did was I actually it actually had a different base mount, but I've mounted this one on a piece of wood, so it looks like it's perched on the wood and it's coming down from the wood, which I think is kind of great, because this year is the year of the wooden dragon, and what a better way, or I think a really good way to end a showcase is to have a dragon and the wood element, in one composition, which is, I think, yeah, perfect. So this is for me, the 2024 dragon theme, and this will probably be the on top, because it's, like I said, the year of the wooden dragon. So there you have it. I've got 8 models, and again, I have a few more models, and it was not easy choosing, because I was tempted to choose some of the other stuff, like the purple model, some of the wyverns, some of the old Reaper stuff, because I wanted to have a variety of like manufacturers. But instead, I went for the ones I could reach for very, very quickly. I didn't want to dig through the whole storeroom trying to look for miniatures, which again, it's a task to dig through. So I hope you like the showcase. It's simple, and it's on brand because it's the Lunar New Year. I love dragons, and it's nice to combine them both together. I'm just also very very happy I actually have a dragon which combines the this year's element, which is wood, and with a dragon, which I thought was a huge bonus. Now until I can find a wooden dragon, actually I do have one. I have a Balinese wooden dragon, which I should have showcased instead. But never mind. These are the eight that I really really like to show, and it was easy to pull them off the shelf. I hope you like the showcase again. From me to your family, whether you celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year or not, Gong Zi Fa Chai or Gong Hei Fa Choi to you, wishing you all the prosperity of the world and an auspicious year ahead. Thank you so much for actually watching the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next.